Hello, all on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Grandmother Johnette Crowley, and I'm welcoming you to our December consciousness update. I don't know how it got to be December. This year went so fast. Anyway, the theme for December to just be aware of is, because it's the last month, conscious completion and then clarity moving forward. So you'll be asking yourself the questions, what are you done with? I mean, what are you really done with? And then what are you willing to imagine? So just be with those questions. And I'm going to go through some of the four main themes for this month. And I thank Morgan McKenna, our evolutionary astrologer, and you can find her at originsastrologer.com, but she's the one who gives me these themes. And what we see in terms of completion is that it's really important to celebrate the significance of where you've been and what you've learned this year, what you've completed. So give yourself some time in the next 4 weeks before our new year starts and just ask yourself, what traumas have I healed? What relationships have I cleared up? What belief systems have I uplifted to? How have I been managing my triggers? Where am I now more in alignment? Where am I now being me uniquely? So this is a great time, even if you don't normally journal, this is a really great time to journal because so much happened so quickly this year. It's time to take stock and not just take it for granted that you are where you are. It's been a rough road, but you've accomplished so much more than you probably are paying attention to. So in conscious completion, look at where you're different now and what you've completed, what you've done. Notice where you're not a victim anymore, just where you are more on the path that you want to be. The other thing to look at during the holidays as we go into completion is to look at where you've been getting your identity. Has it been coming from your possessions, what you do, how much you care for others? So in this journaling, look at what's been bolstering your ego. What drives your ego? And do you want it there still? Do you want your ego in the driver's seat in just that way? So let's complete the contract we have with our ego in the driver's seat and see if we can move to the new beginnings that are already starting in December, really at the solstice. So another main theme is December's bringing an influx of high vibrational energies. That's going to make this conscious completion easier. It's going to stir up the last things that you haven't been willing to look at. And it's also bringing an expanded awareness. So you're going to have fresh eyes to look at where you've been, again, to look at relationships, your relationships with money, your relationships with stress, your relationships with yourself and what you should be doing. Please use these clarifying energies of December to make some clear new decisions so that you're not on default anymore. December is really a pivot time, a time to consciously discard what you've outgrown but maybe haven't noticed. So many times we hang on to things that we don't need to be hanging on to, but they're comfortable. So in this pivot point, look at for new directions from December on. 2024 is my guide Mark is calling it a new foundation. So in December, we need to get ready for this. So that's kind of the annual cycle, but I'm seeing bigger cycles especially when I'm working personal sessions with people. I get to see such rapid change, and it's more rapid than I've seen before because everything's happening more quickly. But in this bigger cycle, what I see is we're moving from an age where we've had compassion based on struggle, based on suffering. You know, when people suffer, it elicits our compassion. And our whole society is based on compassion through suffering. You know, our religions, Jesus suffered for us. Saints are sanctified because they're martyrs, because of how much they suffer. So, what I'm seeing is this massive shift that we still have compassion, but it's not engaged from suffering, it's engaged from joy. I want you to hear me. Can you let go of suffering as your avenue into compassion and feel this joyfulness? The world does not need us to suffer with their suffering. It needs us to hold this space of unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness, and joy. That's hard, right? Because we say to ourselves, well, why should I be joyful and have so much and celebrate when the people in the Middle East are dying and fighting, or the people in Ukraine, or the people in Africa? You know, it goes on and on. So it is not just our right to be compassionate through joy. It's really requirement so that we can lift to this new level and lift the others as well. And if you get stuck being compassionate and joy, just think about a baby or a puppy. They totally live in joy for no reason, then they're alive. So realize that joy is really a theme of this holiday season, and don't let December make you heavy in more ways than one, right? Make you feel guilty, make you stressed. It is a time to celebrate the year. So I would like to share something that happened to me on Monday that's giving me this greater scope. I had a meditation journey that was truly out of this world. And everything was so clear. I could see the oneness of everything. And with my eyes open, I could see that flower of life symbol. And Brianna's going to show it to you now in case you don't know what it is. But it's this beautiful sacred geometry that interconnects everything. It's called the flower of life, and it's a symbol found in the pyramids. It's a symbol found so many places. And so I was astonished in this meditation with my eyes open. I could see that all over the ceiling and the walls. I could see it in the air, and it was golden like this. And what it made me realize is that we're living in this kind of false offshoot of reality, that this flower of life, this golden, infinite interconnectedness that is alive and pulsing and wise and loving and joyful is the truth. And I don't know if we're closer to that dimension than we've ever been, or if it's closer to us, or if we've finally gotten closer to it. But I just share that we are this far away from where we think we want to belong. And it's really a shift in perception in order to let go of all this. It's what happens when people die, right? They have these exquisite experiences. Well, it's there for us without dying. So I invite you to enjoy this holiday month in joy and be part of this infinite flower of life where we are emergent and radiant with oneness, with joy, with happiness, and with our beautiful human love. So I just want to make a couple announcements that because December is such a powerful time, our third trilogy of activations will be on December 21st on the solstice. And that's an activation that is a rebirth portal. In the northern hemisphere, the light is born again out of the darkness. So I will channel a powerful rebirth activation. So you can find those on my website. And the other thing just to announce is that in January, my Mark class we're finishing up our purification course, and we're going to start on January 8th, the second Monday in January, with perception. Mark is going to channel a course on perception. He says this is the most important class he's done for many, many years because we're changing our perception, like just happened to me when I could see that flower of life everywhere with my eyes open. We are moving into a state where we can see the places we've always wished to be. So please join me in that. And our next consciousness update will be the first Friday in January. So blessings to you all. May your blessings radiate. And thank you for your service in this time of